Do, 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 do. I'm dreaming no white Christmas with Santa's packing a Colt 45. Do, 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 do. And he's got a peacemaker in his right hand. Do, 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 do. And Walton Goggins is playing a hitman. Do, 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 do. Sorry. In case you didn't get it from the Yuletide style singing I got going on, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about The Fatman, movie that came out in 2021, starring Mel Gibson as Chris Kringle, Walton Goggins as the hitman trying to kill him, and some random kid is a random kid who didn't like the fact that he got cold, so he's hired a hitman to kill Santa Claus. I mean, it sounds utterly fucking bonkers, man. A kid gets cold for Christmas and then hires this hitman to go after Santa. Anyway, but yeah, that's this intro is kind of long enough. So let me just dive right into it. Good morning, die-harders. Who's ready to live free and die hard with a vengeance? I am the Shogun, and this is the S&W EXPerience. Reviews. I will be reviewing The Fatman. This here is the intro, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back, relax, munch down on some cookies, load that Colt 45 with your best ammo, and keep back from blitzing so he doesn't munch off your package. And here we go. There it is, the non-spoiler review of The Fatman. I'm just gonna jump straight into the ratings, man. I'm gonna get into spoilers right away. So, out of 10, I give this movie got a lot of chuckles out of me, man. This movie got a chuckle out of me. It was good. You know, it was funnier than I thought it would be, man. I'm gonna give it. Okay, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. That's right, people. You heard me, man. I yeah. The movie was funnier than I thought it would be. And nah, fuck that, man. Let's go 7.7, man. Realistically, it's a 7.7 out of 10 because that's just it, man. The beginning was slow. It was like, let's establish that, like, I don't know, Santa's going through some shit. He's losing his Christmas spirit. He's not the guy he used to be. It's just, I mean, he's not what you expect. He ain't the Santa on the box. He ain't the jolly ho ho ho. Slide on a chimney in the big red suit and all that. He's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of curmudgeon-y, man. It's like, that I didn't like. But, in the beginning, I didn't like that, man. It just came out of nowhere. And, just the setup to show, like, the setup it was good. It just took a while to get rolling. That's it. And there were some moments where I'm like, really, man? Really? But other than that, this movie is a solid 7.7 out of 10 sleigh bells. Yeah. 7.7 out of 10 sleigh bells for The Fatman. Music wise, this movie didn't have a lot going for it music wise. So there's not much to talk about in terms of score, but you know, cast was well done. Santa's wife was well cast. She was the police chief in RoboCop, so I only know it from that movie. But she was great in this role, and the dynamic between the two of they support each other, and like they're each other's rocks essentially. Like when the job's getting too hard, lean on me. I'm there for you. And like when I need something, I know I can lean on you. They had that kind of dynamic, and that was good. The rest of the cast, like Walton Goggins plays like the hitman with a grudge pretty well, and the kid was, he was a kid and he played the dude. It's like I don't know. It just felt like there would be something to it. Like the kid's dad wasn't around, so his grandma was there for him. So I felt like at some point, we would get to see the dad, or at the very least, the dad would have something to do with the plot instead of just being something that's referenced or like, oh, here's there's a Christmas package from your dad, or your dad won't be able to make it. Just whatever. Just I felt like there was more that could have been done. Yo, but that ending though, I mean, Mel Gibson as Santa Claus is initially not who you think. Like casting somebody to play Santa, you wouldn't think Mel Gibson. Like honestly, I wouldn't have thought Kurt Russell would have been cast as Santa in that movie he did. But like, I'd have put him over Mel Gibson because when you think Santa, you kind of think of a family-friendly, Christmassy, icon, man. I don't know. I'd cast Tom Selleck before I thought about Mel Gibson, but like, yo, this was well cast, man. He's not, I applaud the movie. I mean, dude, I just give the movie a low rating because of this, but like, I applaud that this movie looks at Santa from a realistic perspective. Like realistically, if you've been doing what he's been doing as long as he has and had to put up with the shit that he has, you wouldn't be the holly jolly guy that everyone sees on the box. It would sour your opinion on certain things, and the movie deals with like some of the harsh realities of being Santa Claus that we don't really think about. Like it puts in things like there was a movie that kind of touched on that with Fred Claus, like production and how much money it costs to run essentially the Elves Workshop and all that. But outside of that, we don't really see much movies delve into this kind of thing. So yeah, this was pretty well done, and a 7.7 sleigh bells for the Fat Man. That is the non-spoiler review. It's definitely worth checking out. It's funnier than I thought it would be. It made me chuckle a couple times. I had to stop watching just so I could laugh. And most of that was down to Walton Goggins, really enough. Like just because his performance in this role, I mean, he's serious. He's not trying to be funny. It's serious, but it's just like there were moments where like he would do something or he would say something, and then there would be no sound. And it's like the movie was giving you a break so you could laugh at what just happened. It's like that was kind of like that was kind of funny, but yeah. Um, and he cleans up in this movie, man. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't clean up on the rig. I'm just saying he's a lot more clean in this movie than in the rest of his other films. There's literally a scene where he's standing in the mirror, like combing back his hair, and I'm like, damn, this dude, he really cleaned up nice for this film. But I guess like that's the kind of the nature of this character. Like from the introduction, we know the movie sets up like there's something. He has something like against Santa, just something like that. The characters are set up from the beginning, and but what brings the movie down is that Santa, when he becomes his holly jolly self again, just more optimistic than he was in the beginning. It's like that, the movie needs him to be that for the third act. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the non-spoiler review. Here comes the spoiler review for The Fat Man. If you don't want to be spoiled, you haven't seen the movie yet, that's just you go. You stop the recording right now, watch the movie, then come back later. It is a good film. Is it a Christmassy movie? Not per se. This ain't the kind of family-friendly Christmas fare, but like it's definitely a movie set during Christmas with Santa Claus and Christmassy themes. Let me tell you that much. It's like I don't know, a Shane Black movie. You have to question whether those are Christmas movies. But yeah. Anyway, here's the end of the non-spoiler review. Here comes the spoiler review, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Holy shit! There's a lot of blood in this fucking movie. A lot of blood and guts, man. AEW would fucking cringe at this shit. Like, goddamn, they got a pay-per-view called Blood and Guts. It doesn't have this many fucking blood and guts. I mean, I'm just exaggerating here. AEW has way more blood than this movie. But hey, that's kind of why we dig it. You know, it's like, thank you, by the way, thank you, Vince McMahon, for providing AEW with a name for their bloodiest pay per view of the year. We graciously thank you for condemning that kind of crap. But, Tony Khan sends his thanks. I'm just kidding. Maybe he does. Who knows? Maybe there isn't an actual, like, oh, this has nothing to do with that. Back to the movie. The movie starts off with dude, just Santa. He's he's in this. He's just kind of in this bar. It's like Santa has this ability of like he knows everybody on the good and nice list. Knows all the names and shit. And this movie uses that well because there's a scene where he like goes to the bar and the bartender is trying to hook up with this dude. And Santa like sits next to the guy and he's like, hey, Mike, like how's the wife and the kids going? And he's like, do I know you? Like, it's like, nah, no, you don't know me, but like I know you. Like, if you leave now, you could probably make it home in time for Christmas, man. Like, come on, man. It's like he knows like this dude's married, and like he doesn't want this guy to cheat on his wife with this bartending chick. So he's like, man, if you leave now, you could probably make it home back in time for Christmas. Wife, kids waiting for you, and shit. And it's like, yeah, he sees the light of like, yeah, you're right, man. I should go, and he leaves. Then the chick comes out. She's like, well, where was the guy who was just here? Oh, he left. She's like, how come every time, like, I got a guy over here, they vanish whenever you're around. And he's like, oh, maybe I'm just a jinx. Because like he knows like, hey, she's a good woman, but she doesn't really like. He even tells like Chris even tells the guy, the bartender lady, she's a good woman, but she doesn't care that you're married. Like she'll fuck you anyway, bro. She doesn't really hold my stock in that shit. But yeah, like Chris knows most of the people in town. It makes it. Oh, he don't live in the North Pole. He lives in Canada, like near the North Pole. This town called Eureka, I think. The North Peak, I think they called it. The town is called North Peak. It's in Eureka. It's pretty, like, remote. It's as close to the North Pole. That's the thing. It's like, this movie is as close as as the film can realistically get to, like, all the stuff about Santa. A shop full of elves, North Pole, Miss Santa bakes cookies. That's all there. The shop isn't in the North Pole. It's near the North Peak. It's a factory. What you'd expect out of a factory to look like. It's a factory full of workers, and the elves, they're there. They're not magical creatures or anything, but they are. Like they live long lives. They live longer than humans because like they eat a certain way, they sleep a certain amount of times, and they essentially work. It allows them to work the 24-hour shifts that would be needed to make toys for every kid around the world. So yeah, and for like the Miss Christmas, Santa's wife bakes cookies and shit. She doesn't exist solely to do that. She like does stuff. She like helps him out every now and then. Whenever he's feeling down, like she'll say something to help him stir back up, and she'll be like, things are rough now, but like we've been. It's very much the relationship of things may be rough now, but we've come through the fire. Like that Cookie and Lucius kind of love, man. Like no matter what, they stick together. No matter what life throws at them, they together. They are each other's. I don't know. They are each other's diehard, man. But yeah, in this film, that's to kind of set the story in motion. As Santa goes on his Christmas run, leaving presents, leaving coal, and he leaves coal for this kid named Billy. And the kid's like, you messed up big time, Fatman. It's like, thing is, Billy has this assassin that he can call and like help him deal with shit. Like, he lost this contest. He had this elaborate thing built up for about like renewable energy. He had this whole mini town, had like water running through it. I think windmills or solar energy or what the fuck ever. The thing was about renewable energy. And he came second. See, because like for the last 4 years, he'd come in first. And for the first time in his life, like now he's coming in second. It's like, what the fuck? Something's messed up here. It's like, hey, why am I getting this second place trophy? There's been a mistake. Like, this girl gets the first place trophy instead. But like, the thing is that bothers me about that scene is like we don't see what she built. We just like, oh, she, because what he built was pretty fucking impressive. The fact that they had to like pan around and show like the whole damn thing, but they don't show what she built. That's a missed opportunity. We know like it was something cool enough to beat him, and his diorama is pretty cool. So can we see hers? What beat that? You know, what was good enough to beat that crap that he built? You know. There's no way. He's like, it took me like 10 months, like 10 weeks conceptualizing and a couple of days to like actually put it together. I'm just like, you did not build this yourself. I know you're rich. I know you kind of smart and all, but you did not build this yourself, man. You have maids and servants and whatnot. You asked the lady to go to the kitchen and pick up your grandma asked you to get a glass of milk, and you made someone else go do it. Like, what's the and then when you came back, you picked it up like you did. Like you're the one who went all the way down there to get it. The fuck is wrong with you, man? Like you are lazy, kid. Like you are not that dedicated to this thing that you built all this shit yourself, painted the little grass and whatnot. Not, yeah, that's neither here nor there. So the little girl wins, and the kid bully calls up his hitman friend like, "Hey, I got a job for you." And he keeps the girl like so brings the girl in the basement of his house, and he threatens to like shock her with like he has like these metal rods hooked up to a car battery, and assassins got her in place. He's like, don't move, and he threatens her, man. He's like, this ain't enough to kill you, but it's like, me shocking you with this car battery, like with these rods hooked up to this car battery ain't enough to kill you, but it's gonna fuck you up. It's seriously gonna fuck you up, man. Because if you hooked up a bunch of wires to a car battery and you hook the battery with yourselves, it's gonna fuck you up. You could die if it stays on you for long enough. But if he just like tapped you with that, even like it won't kill you, but it'll leave your teeth chattering. It's like getting zapped with a stun gun, essentially, man. Like getting zapped once won't kill you, but getting zapped for like a really long time, that will kill you. Because like like cops are like warned against using stun guns repeatedly because it can cause like cardiac arrest. So yeah. After he threatens the girl, like Walton Goggins takes her home, and he's like, if I find out you talk to anybody, you told anybody what happened here, it's like I'm gonna kill your mommy, I'm gonna kill your daddy. He's like, you got a dog? She's like, yeah, like JoJo Beans. He's like, well, I'm gonna kill JoJo Beans too. Like, just so the kid gets out, and then as she leaves, he's like, wait, Merry Christmas. Yes. That is fucked up. What the hell? Of course, a little while later, like Billy gets his award and she admits like, she cheated, whatever. She didn't actually cheat. She just said that, so that Billy would get his award back. But yeah, he gets his little trophy, his first place trophy, and he's happy. He's fucking happy that he got his shit. That worked. Gets a lump of coal and tasks the hitman with going after Santa Claus. And he has a personal grudge against Santa. Cause like the scene later on where Santa is like he confronts him, and it's like, you see this? And it's like a little toy car. It's a little cop car. And it's like, that's the only thing you ever gave me. It's like I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and all I got was this. And Santa Claus, he tells him, there's limits to what I can do. I can't replace your parents, man. It's like, I know. No, you could. There's also this sequence with, because if you saw that, you'd think like, man, the kid's parents died, and he asked Santa to like bring them back, whatever. No, what he was saying is the hitman as a kid had horrible parents who treated him negatively, because like the dad would apparently like burn him with like cigarettes. He'd had like these cigarette burns on his arm. And so I'm like, oh, the kid's parents must have treated him like really horribly growing up. And he wrote to Santa to like Santa, can you do something about this, But like, yeah. And he tracks him down in kind of a silly way at first. He like types the name Chris Kringle into a search, and a whole bunch of fucking names come up. Like, there's a guy named Chris Kringle in fucking Hawaii. Excuse me. You would expect me to believe there's somewhere in fucking Hawaii and like Norway and shit, there's someone named Chris Kringle. Chris Kringle is not a common name, you know. Jesus, man. But yeah, and eventually so he comes across the idea, like he sees his postman. And he's like, whoa, 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 like where do the letters go? All the letters that are addressed to Santa, like when kids write letters to Santa, where do they go? It's like, oh yeah, they go down to the office and the manager so and so, like he takes them. Okay, thanks. Kills the guy, takes his postman outfit, goes in the post office, gets the info he needs from the guy. And there's a sequence where like he's like, write down the P.O. box you send the letters to. He opens his diary and he's like, not there, idiot. Like, use a blank page. And he reaches for a pen. The guy's like, on your right. You're the right. What the fuck, dude? This guy's got a gun to his head. He's faced down his desk reaching for a pen, and it's kind of funny, man. Shit. Oh, damn. This movie, man. There's moments where it's just like, I don't think this was supposed to be funny, but it is. And, so he gets the P.O. box and he drives off to Canada. There's this thing where he's just like sitting in a car, driving along, listening to different kinds of music. One station has like heavy metal, and it has it's a good way to show like he's going place to place to place without actually just showing him driving. Just have different songs playing to show like time has passed, he's in a new location, a new song is played. Like it's a smart way. Other than some movies will just show a character driving along, it will just show a car driving from one end of a bridge to the next to show like, oh, he's gone from point A to point B, and then it cuts to him already at point B. I think the movie Hot Buzz did that when Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, I think. I don't know which one is which. One of those motherfuckers drives from, London to the small town that he ends up working in. So, yeah. Meanwhile, in, like, Santa's place, the military has a job for him. And, like, they want to use his workshop. And instead of making presents, they want to use like his elves and like his system to create like control panels and stuff. Like just make military stuff that the military can use. And it's like, we'll pay you a bunch of money to help you out with that. And he needs this cash because like they were like the production people, they were like, you requested X amount of toys, but only X amount, but less than that were like actually given out. Like the production costs and whatnot. They don't match up to the payoff or something. He says, he's like, it's not my fault. Like half the kids of the world deserved coal last year. Or like most of the kids deserve coal now. Like it's not on me. So why am I only getting like half the money? And like we signed a contract with you. It's like, we deserve to get X amount of money. It's like, yeah, the contract depends on like the amount the stuff you produce. Not like, there's a flat rate or anything. But yeah, it's like we get half because you only used half. But yeah, that's kind of fucked up. That's another thing. People reminder: read contracts that you're signing, and don't just read them yourself. Take them to a fucking lawyer and have them read it and be like, and check if like, hey, everything on the up and up. There isn't like a hidden clause somewhere where the company can screw me out of fucking millions or something. Like just. There's even a discussion about that. Like, he's like, you know what? We should have like asked for we should be getting royalties. Like we should have trademarked my images or something, or like copyrighted my image. Like we wouldn't have to worry about money then. It's like, and then his wife's like, but we're not those kind of people. Like that's not what we do. And he's like, yeah, maybe we should be. I was then they wouldn't be in this financial trouble and having to take a contract with the military. So they take this contract, got the military guys come in, they set up shop, and you can see like it's kind of an inconvenience. I mean, the work is an inconvenience, but the military guys being there, that's kind of an inconvenience, because to the elves, it's like, so like Santa and them are talking, and then the one military guy, the general is like, oh, we'd like to move into the break room, and so we can like, I don't know, set up meetings or whatever, like have a place we can eat. And the elves like, that's fine. like so Santa asks one of the his main elf, the foreman seven. He asked him like, "Is that all right with you?" He's like, "No, it's okay. We can like have lunch in the cafeteria. It's fine." It's like, "Oh, why why you called seven? You know what happened to one through six?" He's like, "Oh, we've been at this a long time, and we don't reassign numbers. It's like disrespectful and kind of inefficient." So I feel like that should be a thing, for like I don't know, like I don't know, a sports team. Yeah, a sports team should have something like that. Like instead of giving someone a number that someone else used to have, it's like just give them a new number. You telling me on a team with less than 30 people in it, there's gonna be more than one dude who has the same number? Like, just come on, dude. From numbers 1 through 99, you're gonna have repeat numbers on a team that has less than 30 people on it. Fuck's sakes, man. But yeah. Sports problems aside, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, they explained like the elves explained like we gotta eat this balance of like sugary foods and whatever, whatever, so that we can stay as productive as we are. And like, what about Santa? Like, does he do that way? It's like, no, it's the giving that keeps him young. But which is immediately cuts to a scene of Santa punching the shit out of a bag. And I like that this movie shows like Santa has frustrations with the world and how like kids have changed and how things are. It shows like, you can't, because you can't, realistically, you can't be happy all the time. You shouldn't be happy all the time. There's something wrong with you. Either your life is going exceedingly well or like, yeah, there's something wrong with you if you're happy all the time. But yeah, it feels like like some of the shit's getting to him. The fact that he isn't having the same effect that he used to. It's just like it's getting to him. Like the kids of the world. Like there's more kids getting cold than toys or something. Like that. It's getting to him and it's making him more frustrated. And his wife leaves him this file, and she goes back inside. In this file, it's the files of all the kids he's helped over the years. Not all of them, but like some of them, because it shows this kid that's like so and so's first fire truck, like the fire truck she got as a kid, and like she grew up to be a fireman. And it shows this other kid. He's like it shows he has this like easy bake oven, I think it is, and he grew up to be like some kind of world-renowned chef. It's like she's trying to show him like, hey, don't give up hope. You do have a positive impact on people. You are making a change. You are positively affecting the world. Though it may not feel like it always, Santa Claus is still helping people. Of course, this doesn't last long. I mean, the peace and the serenity of it all doesn't last long. And Walton Goggins' character finally shows up at the North Peak, and he kills everybody. Not everybody. He doesn't kill the elves or anything. They manage to escape, but he's able to kill a whole bunch of the military dudes. Like just it's kind of funny, man. Like what? These guys are like random like NPC soldiers, man. Like soldiers controlled by the player will be like unstoppable, man. It'll be hard to kill, but like NPC troops in a video game, they go out like flies, man. Like it's even a joke, and then everything wrong with Metal Gear Rising. It's like, what? We are NPC soldiers. Nobody can stop. Ah! It's like that quick to dispatch of NPC soldiers, man. They go down in one hit or less. Okay, they go down easy. Oh shit. But anyway, it's now up to Santa to go one on one with this dude, and that's where they have this confrontation of like, I couldn't replace your parents, and I can see like you've become kind of a twisted kid as time has gone on. But anyway, so they have this shootout, and it's pretty gory, dude. Like it's a full on fucking shootout. Like Goggins gets shot a bunch of times. Santa gets shot like a few. But and he gets up close and personal, and he's like, enough, like stop this, like enough of this. But then Goggins has this retractable blade hidden in his like his like pants, and he pops it so like it comes out of his knee, and he like knees Santa in the back a couple of times, and he leaves him there bloody, and he shoots him in the eye. Like what the fuck? I'm looking at this like, wait, did they just kill Santa? This movie was like hard, but like I didn't think it would actually go this hard. I didn't think they killed fucking Santa. Like, what the fuck? They killed Santa Claus. Holy shit! This movie actually went there. And like Miss Claus shoots the guy. She kills him, and she rushes out to like check on Chris. Somehow, man, like by some fucking miracle, he's still alive, just like barely. He's like, barely hanging in there. Once he gets patched up, the camera flashes back to that Billy kid, and his grandma finds out like somebody's been cashing her checks, and she's like furiously calling the bank and saying like we're gonna find out who the rat is. We're gonna like wring his little neck, just we're gonna find out who's been doing this, and we're gonna get him. Check my signatures and whatnot. And before he, you know, before that happens, like the kid runs in the room, and like he sprinkles a bunch of pills in the woman's milk, and she's like, like, you won't be finding anything out. Like, I'll kill you before that happens. And at that point, like, Mrs. Claus comes in and he's like, who are you? And it's like, I'm, so and so, and this is Chris. And in comes Chris on a cane with a big old bandage over his eye, looking like Carl from The Walking Dead. And he, like, he basically puts the fear of God in this kid, man. Like, Mel Gibson is Santa. That's why, like, at some point, Mel Gibson was going to play Odin, like, from the Thor movies. And I'm like, that could have worked. Because in this scene, and you see him, like, oh, his like, long beard, he's got the eye patch, and he's looking at him like, yeah, he's like, if your grandmother meets an untimely grave, or if that little girl that you ran into gets so much as a cold, like I'm coming after you. Just like, people are gonna pay for the consequences for their actions. I'm gonna take a more proactive role. And so it's like I'm done just giving people coal anymore. Like I'm gonna like start doing shit from now on. It's like this is a warning, man. You gotta straighten the fuck up, or else I'm gonna come back here. And he doesn't say what he's gonna do, but like you get the sense that he's gonna fuck some shit up. Like holy shit, like holy fucking shit, this is intense. Like Santa Claus is threatening this kid, like he's gonna fuck some shit up if this kid doesn't straighten out soon. What the fuck, man? And he even takes the band-aid, so he's like, look at me. And you see like the eye that's all fucked up, and he's like, the fat man's got his eye on you. Oh, give me a horror movie where Santa Claus is the main bad guy. No, not Santa's sleigh. I mean this Santa Claus, not Goldberg. This fucking Santa. What this fucking Mel Gibson Santa is the horror movie villain, and he's killing off kids on the naughty list, man. Like that would be some shit. God damn. Oh man, I'd pay for that, man. I'd pay to see that shit. That's some good shit. Oh man. Whew. Oh man, this has been a shorter review than most people. Because it's not a lot to say. What's praisable is praisable, what's not isn't. But I definitely recommend seeing this movie. I warn you, it's kind of graphic towards the end, and it's not your usual ho ho Merry Christmas Santa Claus. It has a happy-ish ending. Since the kid gets some kind of comeuppance. He's warned like you pull some crap like this again, like you hurt your grandma, you do anything out of line, kid, I'm coming for you. And it's like it's like he's putting people on notice. Like he's gonna start having a more proactive role and shit. The workshop is being repaired by the elves. Life is returning to normal at the workplace, and it's like I'm done being the pessimistic guy I was at the start of the movie. You're right. It's time for like me to go back to being me. It's gonna be a different Santa, but like better Santa, a more proactive Santa in terms of punishing people on the naughty list, and more proactive in terms of rewarding kids who are on the good list. 7 out of 7 sleigh. 7.7 out of 10 sleigh bells. That's what I give this movie. I recommend you see it. It's a good watch. And as always, people, have a holly jolly Christmas time. I know this ain't Christmas. It won't be Christmas when you get this, but like yeah. Anyway, holly jolly holidays, everybody. Happy 2022. And as always, y'all, this has been the S&W EXPerience reviews. I have been the Shogun, and remember, You can't make dill bread without dill dough. P.S. Y'all, there's a scene in this movie where, like, I totally forgot about this. Where, like, Santa's calling up the people, like, he's got his contacts, calls a guy named Lin Ming. I don't know who that is, but I'll look it up. And then, the next number on his phone, he like, calls up and he's like, Elon, what do you got for me? That's fucking hilarious, dog. The idea that fucking Santa Claus has a direct line to Elon Musk, and you can call him up and just be like, "Hey, what you got for me? Like, hey, you got anything for me?" Like, just this is like, yo, this is like that whole like Bill Gates is so rich that the bank asked him for a loan, shit like that. It's kind of like, Ugh. Oh man, it's just like something I thought I should mention. Throwaway line in there. Anyway, yo, this has been the review. You know, the review was a bit ago, but yeah, just thought I mentioned this little funny section I left out. Peace.